What is up, people? What is up, people? What is up, people? It is your boy MM2K of GEIX, Cloud Dosage, Hard Knock Digital Culture, you name it, I am there. We are here with another NRO mic check. This is the show where I give my solo thoughts often, even though we got a special version of this show again today. I give my solo thoughts on the latest and greatest in the AAA genre defining gaming news space. And I wasn't planning this one. I got to admit, this came at the last minute. That's why we're running a little bit late today, because I had to hurry up and slap something together. I was planning to do a pre-show over on our Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/HNDC hub. We normally do that earlier in the day, and then I go over a quick topic or something. And we were actually going to contemplate doing an open mic today, just getting you guys thoughts on what could be said tomorrow. And then this popped up last night, and I'm a little disappointed because everybody was so focused on Microsoft. Nobody was like, hey, look, the PlayStation financials are coming today. I'm a little disappointed about that because we would have known that would have taken over regardless of how it fell. And I'd have been better prepared. So all you insiders and you want to be analysts out there on Twitter, get on your damn job. Start talking about this shit in time. Stop always being ready to throw rotten tomatoes at Microsoft. This shit should have been circulating on Twitter. What's going on? Anyway, yeah, I'm blaming y'all for my for my last minute takes here. But that being said, yeah, I was planning to do an open mic and play some more Helldivers. I'm having a blast with Helldivers. I need to get back into Grand Blue Fantasy because I'm loving that game too. There was that Outcast, the new Evolution or whatever the hell that is. The demo for that came out. I was going to try that on PlayStation. I was looking to see if it was going to be available on GeForce Now, because I'd rather play it there. And I was getting prepared for all that, and then this hits. This hit early in the morning. Well, depending upon what your time zone is, it hit. And I'm looking at this whole situation with the financials. And I'm hearing everybody in an uproar. And I'm hearing all this rhetoric and all this talk about, oh, the financials mean this. And the financials mean that, and oh, it's bad, it's horrible. I'm hearing all this foolishness. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because I handle financial stuff for a living. I'm looking at these reports, and then I'm looking at the headlines, and I'm like, why are the headlines just flocking to this? Oh, ad revenue. Now, I'm not going to sit here and damage control because me and Cold Blood, we're having conversations offline. And Cold Blood, just so you guys know, even though this is normally my solo show, Cold Blood may be joining us. I don't plan to be too long with this because I'm going to freaking play some Helldivers. But there's definitely some concern here in regards to PlayStation, but it's not what people are trying to make it out to be. And you know how we do. We got to be the beacon of light here to all the bullshit that's on social media. There's so much of it. It's like, I don't know how you people function in real life, the way you interpret things. Like, how do you fucking pay your bill? Like, how do you pay your bill? How can you even read the numbers? Who do you know to call? How do you even know to log onto the computer and get the payment process? Like, how do you do it? Do you have a caretaker that takes care of all this shit for you? If so, then okay, understood. I don't understand how I can look at the exact same thing as someone else and they come to a totally different conclusion when the real shit's right in front of them. So we're going to talk about the real shit today. That's all. I'm going to talk about the real shit. I'm going to talk about the good, the actual good, the real bad, and then we're going to tell you what's the over exaggerated or the exaggerated, and we're going to splice it out. That's what we're going to do today. And I don't want to take too long doing it. I hope people pour in while we're live because I love the live interaction. But if you guys missed it live, just catch the VOD. But I definitely want to go over what's happening today and tell you guys the truth. All right, with that said, let's get right. Well, no. Before I do that, I got to pay the bills. I got to pay the bills. This is our website where you can catch the latest and greatest in all of our content, our articles, our member content, all types of shit, man. Come over to pntsnetwork.com. It's going to get rebranded. The new rebranded name and all that stuff is going to be coming soon. So don't fret. It's going to get rebranded, but right now go to pntsnetwork.com. You can check out all of our content, YouTube, Twitch, whatever it is. And if you're enjoying my content in particular, you can go to the members section, go to MM2K Gaming. You'll see a whole bunch of stuff there. If you want to know more about GEIX, that's our collaborative creator platform where we get together, we do a whole bunch of gaming shit, and we're getting a whole bunch of gamers involved too. We're having a blast, we're having fun. Like we had like a game night with Helldivers Saturday. We was just kicking it in the Discord. If you want to be part of all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's a great place for look for group and all that stuff. And when you come into this Discord, because that's the centrifuge of all this, when you come into the GEIX Discord, you will see how it's being designed to cater to your specific gaming taste, because we're not conveyor belt minded. We're not hive minded. We want people to, we understand there's different demographics even within the AAA genre defining space, or within gaming period. GEIX is not just about AAA gaming and gamers. It's about gaming period. But we understand there's different demographics across the scope, and we want to be able to cater to everyone and give everyone a place where they could feel comfortable to do their thing. So definitely check out GEIX. Come to PNTS Network. You go to pntsnetwork.com/GEIX. GEIX is spelled GEIX. Go there and, enjoy. You know what I mean? We got like over 40 plus Xbox codes too to give away there, and we got a lot more. We got some great PC and GFN codes to give away too. So once we get built up to a good level, I'm just start passing shit out like passing shit out to you guys like fat kids in a candy store. All right. Now that I paid the damn bills, I want to go to something else. Here goes the story. Get out of here, ad. Sony cuts PlayStation 5 sales forecast to 21 million units after posting record revenue. I can deal with that title. I can deal with that title. Now, it was updated a few hours ago, as you can see. When you look at the actual HTML, it says Sony posts record quarterly revenue on PlayStation, but because it was all this fervor behind, PlayStation had to cut its forecast. They got to get in the fray too. They want some of that tasty ad revenue shit. So they changed the title right here. I can deal with that. Let's read the key points here, because in order for you to get the gist of everything that should be talked about, I think you got to look at these key points. We're going to talk about these key points, and we're going to break down again the good, the bad, the exaggerated. Sony cuts its forecast for its flagship PlayStation 5 console on Wednesday after warning of weaker sales in key gaming division. That's key point number one. The Japanese game giant said it now expects to sell 21 million units of PlayStation 5 in the fiscal year ending March, down from a previous forecast of 25 million units. What I don't want to under-exaggerate or under-emphasize on is that's a big cut. But I'm going to explain to you the 25 million, the 21 million, and why it's not, even though that's a significant cut, and yes, eyebrows should be raised, they shouldn't be raised in the context of, oh my God, Sony's in trouble. Because 21 million fucking consoles sold is sick. Break it down to you a little bit. Cut comes after Sony posted record quarterly revenue in all the important December quarter, which encompasses the holiday season. I repeat, the quarter comes after Sony posted record quarterly revenue in all the important December quarter, which encompasses the holiday season. I'm going to say it 3 more fucking times. The cut comes after Sony posted record quarterly revenue in all the important December quarter, which encompasses the holiday season. The cut comes after Sony posted record quarterly revenue in all the important December quarter, which encompasses the holiday season. One more time for your ass. The cut comes after Sony posted record quarterly revenue in all the important December quarter, which encompasses the holiday season. I have to do that because I want to get the brain cells active, the brain cells that go dormant for some reason when you guys come to the gaming space and talk about gaming news. Again, I don't know how you function in real life. I just, if you function like this in real life, you gotta have a caretaker. Because I would just imagine that you would see like your bills, your utility bills, or whatever it is you got to pay, and instead of going to somewhere to pay them or going to the computer to pay them online, I just imagine you all balling them in and putting them in your mouth and going ribbit. Like someone who is mentally out of here. There's no way we can look at this information in totality and have the discussions that I'm already seeing. No way. There are concerns, legitimate concerns. Me and Cold Blood was up a couple hours talking about them before I went live. But to act like that Sony had to cut its PlayStation estimates from 25 million to 2, or to try to wash away or hand wave the significance of still reaching 21 million and the numbers behind what they've already achieved is absurd. Now, so a lot of this is Sony's fault, but it still shouldn't be interpreted this way, folks. Stop it. It's not, let's not act like the remedial ones that got to sit in the corner. Okay. All right. Twisted Sin said at MM2K Gaming News, they are being disingenuous or have no reading comprehension whatsoever. I think that's part of it, but a lot of people are trying to fanboy because they have leans towards towards Xbox. You know, Xbox has been under the fire, and this is their way to still be relevant until Microsoft potentially closes the door on all of their arguments, potentially tomorrow. Again, this is all rumor. We're going to see what's in speculation. We'll see what's said tomorrow, but on the potentiality of that, that's them. This is one of my favorite rappers. His name is Prodigy of Mobb Deep. Twisted Sin. He passed away. God bless his soul. He said, I think the song was called The Fight. It was on his final album before he passed away. One line that he said that was pivotal to me because because I can relate to it. He said, if I die swinging, everybody dies. That's what you see happening here. The people that are the Xbox zealots that live on Twitter that don't play games, that don't play Game Pass, and that's why Microsoft is now in a likely avenue of disregarding them because they placated to them so much by Phil's wishes, but they're not out here playing these games and showcasing these games. One of the things that confused me, I don't want to go too far off topic because again, I want to be concise. I want to get right to the point, and then I want to play some freaking Helldivers too. But I did want to just alert the gaming community of this fallacy that's being spread out here. But one thing that always confused me and concerned me is that I think the most purest platform as far as being positive on the Xbox brand, understanding the direction that they're going into, not over believing or trying to get any console wars on that, and just like we with the program, we see the vision. The biggest group was the cloud gaming group, and still is. Like, they understand what's going on, they're okay with it, and they just want to move forward with the direction that they're going in. And the thing that always confused me, Twisted Sin, is being that is the group that is the most supportive of what you're doing. They're not looking to win battles on Twitter. They're not looking at what you're doing, a box versus a box. They're with you lockstep. You ignore them. Like, out of all the cloud gaming platforms or people that have platforms, the Xbox cloud gaming group gets ignored the most from the platform holder. And I get that xCloud right now was built as an extension to Game Pass, but still, it's a significant enough group within the cloud gaming space to where you can acknowledge them somewhat, because that's where they're pivoting to. But I brought that up to say this: you got those that aren't on board with what Xbox is looking to do. They want to fight these battles on Twitter, or they want to be in a state of delusion like Xbox still wants to be in the AAA genre defining space and fight, and they don't. It's clear. Regardless of what's said tomorrow, it's clear. And the potentiality that something is said or done starting tomorrow on forward, that chapter is closed on them. They want to be like Prodigy. They want to be like P. If I die swinging, everybody dies. So I'm not paying them any attention. I laugh at it. I think it's comical. Let them breeze. Let them do what they do. They're swinging on their way out. My issue are those that I feel like are a little bit more unbiased when it comes to this stuff, falling for the narrative. That's what's mind-boggling to me. Again, I know what the zealots are doing, and it's the last hurrah for them. Let them breeze. It's like the death curdle for them. You know what I mean? Xbox is going in a different direction. They got people that are on board. I think Xbox will be better served, even though it's a small niche group. When you look at the overall gaming, landscape, they probably be better served if they reached out to them just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? For some of those community efforts and stuff like that, they would be shocked and surprised at the amount of support they would get. But them other folks that just can't deal with the reality of it, let them have their death curdle. I'm talking to the ones that I usually respect their ability to parse gaming news and tell the totality of what's going on. They have an inability to do it. Maybe this news caught them off guard and they're tired. It did hit early in the morning if you're from the West or in the States. I don't know, but we're going to help you so you don't get caught up in that muck. We're going to help you understand what's going on, okay? So, with that said, he said, Twisted Sense said, I don't need stupid, disingenuous people on my timeline. I'm not going to call the people that are surprising me right now, Twisted Sense, stupid, disingenuous. I'm going to say that the cascading of information based off of the totality of everything that we were just told is kind of silly. And it should stop for the sake of the unsuspecting gamer. True Virgil says Q3 was underwhelming. Ponies are not buying games. So before I get to the phony, because that's what that is. Before I get to the phony, let's again summarize the news story of what's going on here in totality. The sales of the PlayStation 5 in Q3 were 8.2 million, which is a record for a Q3 ever. It is the highest number of consoles and data that's been provided publicly ever for Sony in Q3. Ever in Q3. Ever. This is an increase of 6.3 million in the same quarter last year, but it is 1 million units lower than Sony's projection. There's no getting around that. I'm going to explain why Sony is at fault here. And it's not really indicative of some massive grand scale fall. I just think there was some absurdity from Sony. Let me continue. Sony's gaming revenue for third quarter is 16% higher than the same period in 2022. It is at 1.4 trillion yen. Now, when I did the currency conversion, I could be wrong. When I did the currency conversion for 1.4 trillion yen, it's about $93 billion. But I'm seeing estimates of 10.2 billion. I don't know. I could be wrong. I just did a straight 1.4 trillion yen conversion. I came up with 9.3. But the people are floating 10.2. Whatever. The amount is massive. Sony has cut its forecast for sales, though, by 5% due to lower PlayStation console sales. The PS5 hardware sales reached a quarterly high again of 8.2 million units in the third quarter of fiscal year 2023, as reported by Sony. Okay. So now that we got all that out there, now that we got all that out of the way, again, 8.2 million sales for the quarter. That is a record for quarter three. That's huge because quarter three encompasses the freaking holiday season. So this is the best holiday season according to the information that's been put out there ever. Another significant piece of data is, even though our good friend homie True Virgil is regurgitating what is being said out there on social media, ponies aren't supporting games. You take Microsoft and you now combine them with the world's biggest third-party publisher and Activision Blizzard. You take a whole ass platform that has Minecraft, that has third-party sales, all that stuff. You combine that money with the money that of Activision Blizzard, right? And they still fell short of what Sony was able to do themselves by 1.6 billion. I think Microsoft with ABK's financials was at 7.7 billion, right? It could be more. It could be only 7.1 billion, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I think the number was 7.7 billion that Microsoft Gaming made in their quarter financials, right? Depending upon which number you want to use, the MM2K simple currency conversion number or the number that's being floated out there, they at least beat them after they combined ABK by 1.6 billion at least. Wow. Wowzers. I'm not saying that to fanboy. I'm not saying I have Microsoft. I'm saying that to let you know the significance of what PlayStation was able to do here and how that's being underscored for the sake of a headline. Again, PlayStation made it alone, not being a record-breaking third-party company or absorbing someone like that. They alone made $1.6 billion more at least than Microsoft Gaming after they combined with Activision Blizzard. That just shows you how crazy quarter three was and how that's being underscored by a headline. Now I'm going to transition to the phony. That's part one of this. The phony hype, the phony concern that's out here about, oh, PlayStation is plummeting. Again, this is that prodigy. If I die swinging, everybody dies. That's what they thinking. If I'm going down, I'm swinging too. The phony is so focused around the PlayStation 5 falling short of its expectations in the third quarter of fiscal year 2023. I'm going to put up a tweet that I think best explains why that's brow raising. It's worth discussing, definitely. It's even worth criticizing PlayStation for, but not this way. The discussion is totally in the weeds, the way it's being framed. And it's like, it makes my eyes roll back in the back of my head. Like I just slurped a whole Dixie cup of PCP or something. Like, if you can do that, I don't know. Like, this is so remedial. Dealing with y'all, I get sick of it. It's too early for this stuff. Y'all can't be this stupid. Let me show you what I mean. Shout out to Dom's Playing. It's a known analyst that posts data and stuff on Twitter. I think he provides a great summary, and I think he capsulizes the faux pas that Sony made, which they should be criticized for. But again, the discussion shouldn't be heading in the direction that it's heading. What am I talking about? Dom says PlayStation 5 shipped 8.2 million units in the 3 months ending December. That brings the lifetime to 54.8 million. PlayStation 4 was at 57.3 million at this time in the cycle. Sony also slashed the frankly absurd fiscal year target from 25 million to 21 million. It's at 16.4 million through 9 months. I totally agree. That's what they should be criticized for. I don't know what, speaking of PCP, I don't know what the hell the people at Sony were slurping. I think they were looking at the fact that they were dominating Xbox so much, and they mistakenly took that as in we're gonna sell like a gazillion of these PlayStations. I ultimately do think that, you know, the latter half of the generation, PlayStation is going to pick up on exclusive content. I think you're going to see some bangers and stuff come down the line. And then I really think that you're going to start seeing the PlayStation fly off of shelves even more crazily. But to think that you were going to swallow the gap of the PlayStation 4 already, I think that's what they were hoping for. And they were just doing some wishful thinking. Let me pull up something here. I'm just pulling up one of my spreadsheets. I actually call it the Console War Guide. I just want to make sure that I'm accurately looking at something. Yeah. So when you look at the PlayStation 5 generation or PlayStation 4 generation, and I think these numbers are correct, as crazy as the PlayStation 4 did, the launch year of 2013, they did 4.4 million. They did 14 million in 2014. They did 17 million in 2015. They did 17.5 or 6 million in 2016, and they did 20 million in 2017. Then I'm showing that they went back down to they went down to 18 million in 2018. My 2019 figures might have to be recalculated. I don't know. I currently have 8.5, but I wouldn't go about it. So I put those numbers out there just to show you the significance of what 21 million means. And they're already at 16.4 million. According to the data that's been put out there, let me see if I can find something else. Maybe I can't post this publicly because I can't post my spreadsheet. Y'all wouldn't even understand what the hell I got going on over here. All right, PlayStation or PS4. Let's do this. PS4 sales by year. Okay, we got something here. Accept all. Oh shit. That's not what I wanted. PlayStation 4. Okay. God damn it. August to April. No, that's not what I wanted. That's definitely not what I wanted. Sony PlayStation sales by console. Okay. No, that's not what I wanted either. Okay. Hold on, let me try one more thing. Business data and sales. Let me look. Okay. Okay, here we go. There's some data and sales information here. So quarter, fiscal year. Okay. Yep. All right. So fiscal year 2014 is 14.8 million. 15 is 17 million. Fiscal year 2016 is 20 million. So yeah, oh yeah. This is matching my numbers. I'm off $1 million for 2018, which is their fiscal 2017. Okay, yep. So these numbers are here. Let me show you guys right here. I'm doing mines by calendar year, where Sony is doing theirs by fiscal year. So actually, their fiscal year 2023 doesn't end until 2024. That's how their fiscal year works. So if you look at the PlayStation 4 sales right here, the almighty PlayStation 4, the first year of launch, which was only like a couple of months, they sold 7.6 million. The next year was 14.8. Next year was 17.7. There was only one time that they were even at 20 million. That was fiscal year 2016, which was 2017. I want y'all to pay attention to this. The reason why this is so significant is because in that fiscal year, PlayStation had sold their freaking their consoles they sold their consoles at a significant price slash. Remember they were selling the PlayStation Slim at $200 to rival the releasing Xbox One X. And they killed it that year. As a matter of fact, we might have a discrepancy here, because they're saying that 8.2 million, which is a record, but they're showing 9.7 million here. So what is that? Hardware unit sales, sell in. Is sell in what shipped? Hold on, let me see something. What shipped? What sell in? I think sell in is what shipped. Sell in units definition. A company sales, but is that sales to? I think this might be sell in, which means how many they shipped. And that's why, hold on, let me put my spreadsheet back up. Okay, that's probably why I only have 4.4 million in 2013, where they have 7, we do have 14 million. And then, so we're real close. So whatever, okay, so this is what they shipped. This is what these numbers are based off what they shipped. But for the most part, they match what they've sold to consumer. So they've shipped 9.7 million. I'm showing in that same time for that quarter, but I'm showing for the fiscal year that they actually sold 20 million. They still sold 20 million. I got that they sold 20 million. So what they shipped, they were all able to sell. And PlayStation 4s was flying off the shelves. Why? Because remember, the PlayStation 4 Slim was $200. So because the PlayStation 4 Slim was $200, a lot of what they had, even though this fiscal quarter is what was shipped, that would have been made up in other quarters. That would have been made up in the subsequent quarters. If they didn't sell all this in quarter 3, they still sold a lot, and it would have been made up in other quarters. Hence why the total ship numbers and the sales numbers that I have match up. The PlayStation is on a trajectory to even outpace that. Like the biggest year shipped and sold, but the biggest year shipped and sold was fiscal year 2016, was 20 million. They're still projecting that the PlayStation 5 outdoes that, right? So 21 million is significant. I don't know where on God's green earth, neither does Dom, who I think is a very sensible analyst. Dom doesn't understand. It was frankly absurd. Where did they think they were going to get this 25 million from? Where? How? Why? Why? So I think that's the most sensible way to look at this. PlayStation had an absolutely absurd projection. I think they were smelling their shit. Nerds, Will, in the house. What's going on, brother? I think they were smelling their shit. Internet of Games, who is a big time supporter of the platform. I really trust your sourcing and all this and all your good stuff. So I'm gonna read this here. Gemini Returns says in 2013 there were 4.2 million. That matches my shit a lot. 4.2 million sales, 13.4 million sales in 2014. 2015 was 17. Okay. In 28, okay, 20.8 in 2016, 19. That matches my numbers more accurately. IOG, I love, bro. We gotta get you I know you don't fuck with Twitter, bro, but we gotta get you something, man. We gotta get you some type of account, man, so we can exchange information and data. That matches the data that I've been collecting. See, that's why I have in 2013 that they sold through to customers. 4.3 million. You got 4.2 from Gemini Returns. That's my homie, IOG. Give him a round of applause. But but again, the significance of 21 million is nothing to sneeze at, because 21 million is bigger than any year that PlayStation had with the PlayStation 4. Okay? It's bigger than any year that PlayStation had with the PlayStation 4. We cannot underscore the significance of that. So let's stop. Stop falling for these fake headlines. PlayStation made an absolutely absurd projection. I think they were smelling themselves. They were looking at Microsoft, and that's why I know Cold Blood doesn't agree with me, but that's why I don't fall for the whole mantra that Xbox wasn't competitive. Xbox is, as long as they're in the space, they're competitive. They're just not a competitive threat. But Sony's always leaning over their shoulder. They have PTSD over the 360 era. They're always leaning over their shoulder, looking at Microsoft, making sure that they're far away. And if they seem like that they're inching just a tad bit closer, how can we foil them? Can we throw something out here, a booby trap on the track like Super Mario Kart or something? That's how they always, so they always compete. They're just not a competitive threat. So definitely, there's a lot there that shows you that PlayStation just simply looked at Xbox and said, God damn, we're whooping their ass. And then they looked at Nintendo and said, God damn, we're whooping their ass. We're the shit. Not realizing that not to say that the PlayStation ain't selling great, not to say that the PlayStation ain't going to have a record-breaking year and outdo the PlayStation 4 in any of their years. I'm not saying that's not going to happen, but what I'm saying is they didn't realize the balance of it all. Yes, they're having a phenomenal year, but a lot of it is attributed to, when it comes to Xbox, people just not wanting an Xbox. People looking at the landscape and saying, I'm just going to go with PlayStation. And the Switch kind of losing its luster, and consumers waiting for the next iteration. This is year 4. This is the year where the casual consumer is starting to look for an upgrade in technology, even from the lesser capable units like the Switch. And they're like, you know what? It's like 2023 now, son. I don't want this. You know, I don't want this shit that the Switch provides. It's great unit, but I'm gonna wait for the next thing to come out. Let me stop buying 5, 6, 7, 8 of these months. Let me wait for the next one. And that's what it is. It's a combination of all three things. PlayStation is having a breakout year, but not no motherfucking 25 million breakout year. What are they smoking? People not really wanting Xbox and at mass, and people waiting for the next Switch. I think Sony smelt themselves, thought they was really the shit like that. Where you, as great as Marvel Spider-Man 2 is, as great as fucking God of War is, you haven't had a year like 2018 yet, bro. You haven't had like a serious breakout year in content like you had in 2017, bro. Like, what made you think you were going to sell 25 million? The arrogance took over PlayStation. They were filling themselves and they didn't get a proper read of the landscape. They should be criticized for that. They should, because it was stupid. Hopefully they've gotten out of their drunken stupor and they get back to being the critical analyzers that they're known to be. 25 million was just stupid. For what? All right. So I wanted to deal with the phony. The phony was, oh my God, PlayStation did horrible. No, they are on pace on having a better year than any year of the PlayStation 4. If they reach that 21 million projection, it's better, or surpass it, it's better than any year of the PlayStation 4. And I think they're going to make it. Why? Because fucking look at Helldivers, man. Look at that Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth ain't even out yet, son. Fucking Grand Blue Fantasy, like, stop this. This is foolery. I really think they're on pace to make the 21 million. And if they make the 21 million, surpass it, it'll be bigger than any year that they've had with the PlayStation 4. Stop this. The revenue that was generated in that quarter not only is being reported as record-breaking revenue for that quarter, but it's also bigger. This is what's sick. It's bigger than what Xbox or Microsoft Gaming was able to accumulate under their combination with ABK. They not only was it bigger, they beat them by at least $1.6 billion. If you look at who's, you know what I'm saying, whose numbers you want to look at. If you want to go by the wonky MM2K conversion, where you just take 1.4 trillion yen and convert it over, that's $9.3 billion. People are reporting 10.2. I don't know. That's why I said in my tweet, we'll just wait and see for official word. But anywhere between 9.3, it's higher than what they made. And I'm not saying that to disparage Microsoft. I just want you to understand the gravity of how much they did this quarter. Should they be criticized for thinking they could reach 25? Yeah, that was stupid. But that does not in entirety, or really at all, overshadow the record history, the record-breaking trend that they're on. They are on a trend to break the sales record of any year of the PlayStation 4. That's crazy. So let that sink in. Let's not get caught in the fog of all this rhetoric that's out here, all this nonsensical bullshit that's out here. Let's have the discussions. Let's put them in this proper bucket. Let's look at each individual slice and say, yeah, that was dumb of Sony. Yeah, but these numbers are fucking unbelievable. Still. All right. Okay. The other fake thing that I want to deal with, I'm kind of like going out of order here. The other fake thing that I want to deal with is people are talking about profit over revenue. I'm not going to engage those discussions. Those discussions have been drafted by zealots. Here's what I'm going to tell you. The court case fucking tells you, under testimony, under oath, Satya Nadella said that, hey, even if we get ABK, we're still going to be behind Sony in gaming revenue. Guess what? All y'all were hyping up, oh no, they're going to overtake. Satya told you under oath. Phil Spencer told you under oath that Sony has bigger profit margins. I don't know where all these fucking pie charts and all this other dumb shit is coming from. Kill it. It's trash. Throw it away. I'm not even going to entertain that. What I will say is that it does appear that the profit margins that Sony is seeing are on a decline. When you talk to analysts that do this for a living, that don't just pick their navel and wipe it on their grandma's couch and chuckle and get a laugh out of that, and got the basement smelling like moose ass. I'm talking about real humans that touch grass, that have active sex lives. When you talk to those folks, they will tell you that the conversion of the yen and so forth plays a role into that. And the drop in the yen plays a role into that. What I would also like to point to is what I mentioned earlier. you have to consider that the cost of parts are horrific right now. We're just getting out of the pandemic. The whole chip issue hasn't gone away. Those issues didn't exist in generations past. For instance, with the PlayStation 4. If you guys remember, by now, you would have seen a significantly cheaper PlayStation, because that's what the PlayStation, by now, in the same frame of time or amount of time last generation, PlayStation had dropped a PlayStation 4 Slim, and they put that motherfucker out there on sale for $200. $200. Can you imagine? Now, they would have been able to sell 25 million if PlayStation was able to do that this holiday season. They weren't able to. They spoke to it. They said the costs of development are just too freaking high this time around. By now, you would have seen a console slashed by $100, a holiday sale of $150. I know they had some bundle sales or whatever, but remember when the Xbox One X was coming out and there was real big concerns. I remember because I bet at Porter Rock. And I still owe Porter Rock a game. Don't tell him, shh. Don't tell that motherfucker, shh. I bet his ass. I bet him $100. Shh. He still ain't come for his payday yet. Keep that to ourselves. I said, oh no, One X is gonna kill it. Sony was paying attention, watching too. What did they do? They went and started their Black early sales a couple weeks early, extended them a couple weeks later. That goddamn PlayStation 4 Slim was $200 for Lord knows how long. They can't do that now. Oh, they would have definitely hit 25 million if they were able to do that. That's why I don't understand what the people at Sony were sipping. They didn't look at all of the elements that happened. Those same elements don't exist this time around. It's theoretically impossible. I thought they were seeing some numbers quarterly that we just weren't seeing, and clearly they weren't. Yes. Prior, you could have done that shit. I know Marvel Spider-Man 2 came out, but what you should have did is you should have been looking at the entire gaming landscape, which was 2023 was a breakout year. Maybe you should have held Marvel Spider-Man till 2024. Maybe you should have let 2023 be the year that you didn't have any first party games and you were living off of, well, whatever. Because Starfield was a bust. I get why you did it, because you were concerned about Starfield. But now seeing what Starfield was and how it didn't have any impact on you at all as your dominance as a platform, in hindsight's always 50-50. In hindsight, maybe you hold off Spider-Man 2 until 2024.
Hey, bro.
Cold blood in the house. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Tired.
You tired? I can dig it. Man. Here, let me read some more comments. Let's see here. What we got here? Geek to Sneak said, what up, good people? Good to see you, Geek to Sneak. Thank you, brother, for coming through as always. A console was a massive purchase for our home as a kid, and being shafted by a corpo-ish CEO would have sat very badly. MS is dead to a generation of players for failing their expectations. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting talk depending upon what's being said tomorrow. Again, I am still under the belief system, because, you know, accuracy and all that other stuff is important. These are all rumors until they come to fruition. I'm just using my spidey sense and I'm smelling smoke. And I think that tomorrow is just going to be the starting point, just like the gun, the starting gun to their change in course, their official, transparent change in course. I don't think they're going to come out here and say, yeah, Game Pass no longer day and date. That's not that. They're not going to do that. They're going to frame it as possible. I mean, as positive as possible. You may hear about Hi-Fi Rush. Sea of Thieves gave some semblance of something happening. You may hear about that tomorrow, and you might hear about Pentiment. We're welcoming new console owners to our family. These games are dropping. Da 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 da. And then that may be it for tomorrow. It might be followed up by a blog post, an Xbox Wire blog post that talks about Game Pass. You may not hear nothing else for months. But the fact that you got games, after Phil said that Bethesda, the reason why they spent all that money on Bethesda was specifically for exclusives for Game Pass, and just a couple of years removed from that, they're already changing course. That lets you know that they're headed in a different direction. I don't think you could pull back from that. And I don't think you have to, that they have to say, yeah, we're contemplating this, and they're not going to tell you all that in the in-flight stages. I think what's significant enough is you seeing Bethesda stuff now being the happening in the reciprocal fashion, as Phil just told you not too long ago. That tells you that something didn't work. Now they're changing their strategy. So we'll see what actually is mentioned tomorrow and how this all falls. But we've tried to tell you on this channel years ago, all the way back to 2017. Cold Blood got a chuckle out of it. But I told y'all, in my biggest Xbox zealot days, battling Porter Rock, going against King Thrasher, some entertaining shit. Go check it out on the channel. Me and Porter Rock did whole ass hour and 30-minute videos on each other. Check it out. I even told you back then, quote, because I'm a AAA genre defining gamer, looking back at what the legacy Xbox brand did and what it was about and what I was looking for out of the console, I told y'all then, quote, Phil Spencer got a promotion and I'm not celebrating. We've been telling y'all this for 7 years. That's why I shout out to my brother Will Sinks. I love you, brother. Had him on the show. He great, intelligent mind. Wouldn't mind having him on the show again, but that's why I told him, I'm like, look, I'm just a loudmouth, man. I'm just a loudmouth that combs over data, that just puts shit in an Excel spreadsheet or a database and let the database or the spreadsheet do the work. If I could see, and y'all were doing this years before I came on the scene. If I could see this, there's people that I've been seeing having a huge Twitter presence and following all this stuff since 2013. If I could see this, how could y'all not see this? It was willful ignorance. So it is what it is. For those of you that see the trajectory, as I mentioned earlier, look at what Xbox is going through and say, oh, you know what? I like this. There's going to be more that you like. For those of you that were in my camp that had a certain set of expectations, I tried to tell you back then the shit was changing. I didn't want it to change. I tried to push back, but I can't be the only one trying to push a 5-ton rock. The rest of y'all was just sitting there like, oh, that rock doesn't exist. There's nothing there. Oh, well, you get what you pay for. Thanks for subsidizing the new Xbox for the new Xbox gamers. All these new Xbox gamers should thank y'all asses because you subsidized the new Xbox for them. Don't be mad at Xbox. Don't be mad at them. The writing was on the wall. You willingly ignored the wall. Whatever. So those are my thoughts on it, IOG. We'll see how it falls down. They may have lost some goodwill with people as far as an ecosystem is concerned. I was debating with Cold Blood. He brought up some great points. My theory was a little bit more empathetic. I was like, there are some people that came on the scene in late 2020, heard the whole debate about RDNA 2 and all that silly crazy shit, 12 teraflops and 40 frame deltas, and they fell for that shit. And I can kind of empathize with those people. But the people that were here back when I was here and even before doing this shit, if you couldn't see the direction shift, I'm not shedding a tear for you. I'm not. Thanks for subsidizing Xbox for the new Xbox gamer. That's all I can say. Doriga says, to me, Xbox was great before Phil under the old management and we got more. I didn't like the change in command either. Yeah, that's how I felt. I felt like that Xbox built its brand, Doriga, on, you know, the AAA genre defining space. They put a spotlight on Western developed gaming. They shook the ground. They shook it upside down, and they made so many pivotal, exhilarating games and experiences that I felt like that, you know, I get it. There's a new CEO. They're looking in a new direction. They're not trying to fight for the living room. I get that they were trying to be service-based and focus in the cloud, and I was all for it. That's why I jumped on Google Stadia. I'm for. Maybe not necessarily service. I didn't mind them, but I was for the cloud technology, and I still am. That's why we're doing the stream tomorrow, GeForce Now, the new Banishers game. I'm doing that on Cloud Dosage News. So check that out at Cloud Dosage News. I'll be doing that 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. So I completely understand that whole dynamic about the technology and all that other stuff. I just didn't like that it was like either or. You couldn't do both. You couldn't invest and keep a keen eye for the AAA genre defining games that were out there. And again, I think it was just the perfect storm, Doriga, of Satya not really caring about the gaming culture. I'm not trying to be mean. He doesn't. He doesn't care about the gaming culture. He just cares about the bottom line. How can it affect our bottom line? Where are their revenue pursuits, and how can it help us out in the cloud? And then you combine that with someone like Phil, who loves game. I really do think that Phil is a great gamer enthusiast, but he does not have an eye for quality AAA genre defining content. Not at all. He just loves gaming. He just loves spending time with gaming. I think ahead of Xbox that can do both, can execute Satya's plans and reach his expectations and rebuild and uphold that pillar which Xbox was known for. I was saying it was Mike Ybarra. I think Mike Ybarra was better suited. But we know how that went. So, yeah, I'm with you. But it's a new Xbox. It's for a new consumer. I was told that a couple years ago. This is not for you anymore. Get out of here, ML. And I said, okay, pack my shit up, got on the Greyhound and rolled. But the people that was telling me that, they didn't know how different it was going to be. And they didn't realize that it was no longer for them either. They should have got their ass on the Greyhound with me. Now they know. Knowing is half the battle. Travis said, Marvel Spider-Man 2 version of PlayStation 5 only release. He says, Phil to me has been to a politician so much lying. Yeah, I was talking about this with Will Sinks. Shout out to Will Sinks, formerly of Xbox Uncut, one of my favorite Xbox Legacy Xbox podcasts. Matter of fact, Xbox Uncut, when we first started doing content here and we did our show Scram Punks, they were so supportive. They would mention our show, help get people here, and then in comes Z, and the rest is history. So shout out to Will. I owe so much to Will, Xbox Uncut, Dustin, and all those great people over there. Steph keeping it, all those people over. That was a great show, man. I really missed when those guys, even when I started turning away from Xbox, I missed when those guys were on. They were so intelligent, so smart, and they knew what Microsoft should do to do the balance. And Phil, to your point, Twisted, would say things like they were heading in that direction. And I think Phil's job was to just keep us at bay until they were able to make the pivot where they no longer need us. Because even though people say the gaming in the future isn't the box, it's in the cloud, and as true as that may be, the future is not now. The future is years away. So what do you do now? You can't go to the market and say, can we pause all of our financial activity and expectations and trading until 2030? It don't work like that, son. So you still got to go now. And Xbox was figuring out now. That's why during the court case, I think you heard an exasperated Phil say, you know what? I don't want to do this shit. I'm paraphrasing, but I don't want to do this shit no more. I'd rather be in mobile. He's tired of this shit because he realizes this is not what he's cut out for. Mobile, there aren't these big demands on quality and AAA this and AAA that. You find a cute little gimmick, a nice little money hat behind it, there you go. I'd rather be there, Phil said. So it was just a matter of how can we pivot from this core that is at the center of our survival. Now they found it. They want to pivot from y'all. Now they found it. They are now going to do for those that still are going to be rocking with Xbox. That's what Sarah Bond is going to be doing. They're going to be doing the outreach to those, still having the fanfare for those. And like I said, there's a whole sector that Xbox needs to start. Maybe they're already paying attention to them and they're just waiting for the ribbon cutting ceremony to say, okay, we done with y'all. Now we're going to move to them. It's within the cloud gaming community. No, it's a niche community, but a big swath of them are in lockstep with what Microsoft is doing because it suits their needs. So hopefully they're paying attention to them and then they lean on them because they could spread a lot of positive stuff about their new direction. But Phil's job was to hold y'all at bay. I'm sorry. To hold y'all at bay. For those of y'all that were going to have the willful ignorance to hold y'all at bay until they could pivot. Now they got APK. Now they can pivot. They're going to be pivoting like Patrick Ewing all over that ass. Like Kobe Bryant all over the pivot. The writing was on the wall. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for him. But back to PlayStation. That was the phony concern. I will say that the good with PlayStation's numbers is despite the sales adjustment, which they should have never had to adjust from such a ludicrous expectation. And Cold Blood said it. I got to give Cold Blood his flowers. I don't know if he's taking it out now or what, but Cold Blood told me, he said, bro, they ain't selling 25 million. He said, 25 million for what? I was like, man, I think they can pull it out because I just can't fathom. That's me. I'm too trustworthy of professionals. That's how I got caught up with Xbox at first with Phil, and I had to learn my lesson. I just can't imagine because of where I work at and the expectations of me. Like, I got to have a 0.004% error rate. If I don't maintain a 0.004 error rate, I can lose my job. That's how critically accurate I have to be. So I'm used to that world, and I got to step out of my own silo and realize that a lot of these professionals get paid a lot more and do much more jankier, inefficient shit. Cold Blood was right. They gonna sell 25 million for what? But I couldn't fathom in my mind the analytical prowess normally that we see from Sony and PlayStation, them thinking that they could get that far without the numbers backing it. And clearly, the numbers weren't backing it. I think they expected too much of Marvel Spider-Man. Even though it's a fantastic game, it was dropped in a year where it was just too cluttered. It was just too cluttered. And Sony just didn't do their homework. It was just too cluttered to where I think in 2024, the game would have sold gangbusters. Do you take that risk? I mean, hindsight is 2020. But do you take that risk? I think I said earlier, the hindsight is 50-50. What the hell wrong with me? I'm sipping that same PCP they sipping over at Sony. Talking about 20. But Cold Blood told me.
No.
No.
What?
If you release Spider-Man this year, you would not even get to 20 million consoles sold.
Why you think that?
Well, you think the PlayStation sold so much because of third-party games?
Oh, you talking about they don't get? Well, yeah, it would be outside of the 20.
They will not even get to the 21 million they now predict.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, they sold 10 million. I wonder how many, maybe this year. But see, here's the thing, Cold Blood, right? I think you're right. You're absolutely right. But here's the thing, getting 20 million, it isn't that important. In the PlayStation 4 era, you only hit 20 million one time. So maybe you project that you're going to do like 18 million this year, right? You do like 18 million this year. That's cool. And you make it a bigger possibility and you throw Spider-Man in a less crowded year next year. Because I really don't see a lot of third-party shit that could steal some thunder. I think like if Marvel Spider-Man releases in holiday 2024, I think it's a shoo-in for Game of the Year. Or it was more crowded. So yeah, I don't even consider it a hit. You're destroying your competition anyway. I still think without Spider-Man in 2023, you're still competitive. Even if you do take some knocks for not having first party, you're potentially taking those knocks this year. So, and again, hindsight is 2020. But do you release Spider-Man in a less congested year to where now maybe the 25 million is possible in 2024 or more? Maybe not 25, maybe 23 million. But that's a great point. I'm not, Cold Blood, I'm not debating you no more, man. I'm tired of you telling me shit. And then I go live on air and the shit's wrong. So I'm not debating you no more, okay? Stop trying to put me in that situation where I'm on one side and you're on the other. All right, you told me they wasn't going to sell 25 million. I said no.
Wait, I'm not doing that intentionally.
I know, I'm just fucking with you.
I'm just looking at it from the perspective of a consumer. And it just logical thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't see why the fuck they would sell 25 million consoles all of a sudden.
Yeah. I'm baffled. But after thinking about it, I get it. They were just punch drunk off their own shit. They thought their shit didn't stink. They erroneously looked at Xbox. That's why when people say, but Xbox is doing this. I'm sorry, in this discussion, and again, nothing against you if you like Xbox. I'm talking about in this particular discussion. Xbox is the lowest common denominator. You can't look at them and say, oh, well, they're doing this. It doesn't matter what they're doing in this space. They're trying to pivot away from this space. They're the lowest common denominator. I just didn't understand how a PlayStation, a group of them, thought that because Xbox was underperforming, thought because the Switch was, on its last, in its actual last phase of the generation, why they thought they would, all of a sudden they're going to sell 20 million or 25 million. When 20 million is the most that you've ever done with the PlayStation 4. You have a supply constraint. You can't chop down the price of the PlayStation 5 like you could with the PlayStation 4 Slim. What are you thinking, man? You know what I'm saying? What are you thinking? You sold that 20 million. It's still phenomenal if without a serious price slash across the board, you're still able to beat what you were able to do in 2017. Yeah, but considering that you can't slash the price of the PlayStation 5 all like that to help spur sales like you did in 2017, what makes you think you're going to do that much more than that? that was a lesson for me too, y'all. I'm always yelling and screaming at y'all and spitting on my pop filter. Don't believe the hype. I gotta learn to do that too. Sometimes I get caught up because, again, where I come from, you can't fuck up like that. You just can't. You can't fuck up like that. You're gone. You're gone. And my company, had the motherfuckers that made that projection over at Sony, if they worked where I worked and the shit was actually that off, they're gone. They're fired. They're eating Navy beans and sausages off unemployment. They're done, son. I think that's the biggest takeaway as far as being critical on Sony on that end. Cold Blood came at the right time because I want to talk about I think the most critical thing about Sony, but I do want to say that these numbers, if they meet them, they're already on the trajectory to meet the new adjusted numbers, the 21 million. That is significant. The revenue that they was able to pull in quarter three, as reported by the record-breaking, significant. This is not a bad year for PlayStation at all, or a bad quarter at all. They just made a dumb decision and the optics of it are bad. But let's be smarter. We're supposed to be smarter than that, y'all. We, like somebody who, when Thrash was on here, he said, we be knowing where the fucking CFO lives and what be happening in this meeting. We're supposed to be better than just the optics. That's what casuals do. They just read IGN and they go by the optics. We're supposed to be smarter than the optics. We're in the nitty-gritty details. The nitty-gritty details tell us that this was some record-breaking shit. That despite their dumbass projection, that in hindsight didn't make any sense. PlayStation killed it. They weren't able to slash the price across the board like they were last generation, and they're on the trajectory to still outdo their biggest year last gen. That's sick. So, all right, that's the good. Now, let's talk about the bad. Sony adjusted its games and network services for 2023 sales forecast after selling at 8.2 million. That was $1 million short of what they had, and we've already lambasted them about that. So that's definitely bad. That just shows a level of incompetence and really feeling what's going on around you. And whoever thought that, I don't know if Jim Ryan was part of that, I don't know. But whoever thought that was going to happen, you know, there has to be a serious conversation if they're still around. But here's the other part, and I want to get Cold Blood start on this. They didn't explicitly say there wouldn't be any, but I'm gonna put this on the screen, Cold Blood. It says Sony's president Hiroki Totoki has shared his frank impressions from his 4 months as acting PlayStation chairman, stating that the studios need to improve when it comes to business. And it's also said that Sony expects PlayStation 5 hardware sales to decline from its next fiscal year, which I don't see any problem with that, because they did after they got 20 million last gen. That's no big deal. And confirmed that it plans to release no major franchise titles before 2025. I don't know what that means, but Cold Blood, is that concerning to you for 2024? Hello?
What? No. It's not concerning.
Oh, it's not? Oh, okay.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, I was concerned in 2023 already about that shit. That's why this right now is just. Yes, thank you. I was right. Yes, Sony, you have nothing.
Oh shit.
That's why I'm not concerned anymore. I was already last year.
Mm-hmm. How upset are you? Or how much of a problem is this for you? That they're not it doesn't look like, again, could be something new coming.
It all depends. No, it all depends on the next 6 months. If they don't announce shit for this year, my opinion on PlayStation is gonna change a lot. Because if that shit can happen every 4 years, where we have 2 years of fucking nothing. Oh boy, they better not come with PC day and date bullshit anywhere near my face. Because I might not get the PS6 if that shit continues like that.
So you're staunchly against PC day and date.
Yeah, well, if they need it just to have enough money, as they say, well, I'm gonna say fuck your console then. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm getting a PC. I'm gonna be like the fucking bots. The console war is fucking over.
I look at that part differently, even though I understand the concern. I think the way I look at it is, in the long run, if PlayStation gets its shit together as far as its PC releases, if it wants to launch day and date on PC, I don't mind that. I just don't think they can do it now. We see how their PC launches are, how much resources it takes, and I don't want a PlayStation game being fuddled because they had to divert resources to a messy PC launch. So right now is not the time. If it becomes the time in the future, I don't mind, and I don't think it's going to threaten the console space, because the type of PC that you're going to need in order to play these PlayStation games, like the average console consumer, when these motherfuckers talk about, oh, I'm just going to get a console, I'm going to get a PC. No, you're not. You're not doing it, because you're not going to be. When you're different, that you don't represent the average console gamer. You're more advanced. You're more hardcore. You're more of a hardcore, more advanced gamer than the average console gamer. The average console gamer is not going to be able to switch. Matter of fact, a group of us advanced gamers already tried that shit. We tried it last year when the Xbox One X when that motherfucking God of War hit in 2018, bro. And that motherfucker on a $200 PlayStation 4 Slim looked better than any game on the Xbox One X. I don't think they're gonna be mad at me saying this, because it's all history. It was me, Noah, the homie Neethles, and J-Dub. J-Dub was spearheading this, because you know J-Dub is a troll. Like, yeah, man, fuck that Xbox. Let's all go to PC. So we all went to PC and we all got Anthem. Now, I'm not saying Anthem was the best game to get to start off our PC craze, but it just showed you that if you don't have the finances or the resources to buy the best shit, you're going to be sitting there tweaking it and doing this. And, oh man, I didn't quite get 6. We were spending more time in the inventory than we were playing the game. Someone with a console gaming mindset, they're going to say, fuck that shit. I'm out. So no, I'm telling y'all, no, y'all ain't. Cold Blood will do it. He's a more of an advanced gamer. Most of y'all that are listening to this, I'm not trying to be mean. Just, you got to understand the bucket and the lane that you fit in. Y'all are not advanced like that. Or y'all would have been had a PC. If you're an Xbox gamer and you're advanced like that and you got resources like that, I don't even know why you have a console. Why? Because you ain't advanced like that, son. You ain't built like that. I wasn't built like that at that time and at that moment. So most of you, someone like Cold Blood, but see, that's why I said Cold Blood is like, he's like a smaller, advanced, smaller slice of the gaming pie. I still think that the PlayStation console base is still strong, even if they do day and date releases. But I think that for that to be a possibility, as from what we've seen from The Last of Us 2 and other games coming to PC, even what we see with Helldivers, bro. Like, we're enjoying the hell out of Helldivers, but that launch is kind of messy. And that's a service game. Like, no, I don't think console gamers got anything to worry about that or concerned about that. They have, that discussion is well a ways. I want to address something that Craig Simmons said in the chat. He said Xbox, PlayStation are going to be around for one or maybe two more gens. I look, we can't lump what Xbox is doing to what PlayStation is doing. Remember, Cray? And I was guilty of it too last gen when we were saying, yeah, PlayStation gonna do day and day too. It just makes sense. No, it don't. That's what Xbox had to do. That's Xbox root. That's their origin story. That's their byline. The reason why I say that, Cray, is Xbox wants to run away from hardware. They're not a hardware company. They're a services company. Yes, do they make money off of Surface? Yeah. Did you see how much a Surface unit is, bro? Like, every time Phil brings up, watch the Fortune magazine interview, the infamous one where Phil's like, when they're talking about, why don't you just ship xCloud retail? He said, would you ship that? That infamous interview. Watch Phil's face when they ask him, are they in the red or in the black with console sales? His whole demeanor, it's like he had someone poured hot lava down his throat. His whole demeanor was like, it agitates, it irritates him to be behind a box. Why? Because they're a software company. PlayStation is a hardware company. They sell a bunch of hardware shit. When they go to their jobbers and their assembly lines, they get better negotiations on prices and shit for parts. That's why within a 3 to 4 year lifespan, this might be the only exception this year because of the complications of chips and stuff like that. But normally, PlayStation is in the black when they sell a console after 3 to 4 years. Xbox is never in the black with a console. I think there was one, I think the 360 Elite or something like that was the only time they were in the black with with each console sold. So Xbox is trying to run away from the console, where PlayStation actually makes money off selling the console. Now, they don't sell the console just to sell itself. They sell the console so software is sold. But we can't lump what PlayStation and Xbox is doing in the same vein, because there's different causal situations here. Now, do I think will Xbox exist as like a dongle or something? Like, maybe next gen, maybe in 2026 they do come out with a handheld in a dongle or something like that, and then after that it's a straight dongle. Who knows? I don't think that the Xbox ecosystem is totally going away. Think about it this way, because this is what Tencent is working on. Tencent is working on their own cloud solution. So just in case you want to play, if you're a big fan of Tencent games, even though Tencent is mainly a publisher, if you're a big fan of the shit that Tencent owns and Tencent property only, you can sign up for the Tencent cloud service. They're working on that. So think about it like that. Or imagine if Ubisoft took Ubisoft Plus and added it to a dongle for the Ubisoft fans that are out there. That's what it's going to be. I think that Microsoft is still going to be in the business of these free-to-play games, you know, even if they dump hardware, you know, or expensive hardware. But no longer are the days where they're going to make this expensive hardware that they sell at a loss. I think those days are winding down. It looks like that they're starting to convert on their publisher stint They're still going to have their own ecosystem for Xbox fans that love Xbox shit or love Game Pass. Game Pass will likely still have some third-party titles in it. I think it's going to, definitely now be overwhelmingly Xbox stuff, but they'll have some third-party deals here and there. And on the dongle, there'll still be an Xbox version of Fortnite. There'll be an Xbox version of Apex Legends. There'll be an Xbox version of Roblox. I really feel like they're still going to partner with the free-to-play game makers and still have those games available, and then that's what you're going to get. But there is not going to be a cadence of Xbox and PlayStation 1v1. Yes, did Xbox influence PlayStation to do some things even though the margins are that wide? Absolutely. Did PlayStation influence Xbox to do some things, restructure Game Pass? Absolutely. But they're not going to be walking 1v1 lockstep. I've been trying. Y'all called me a hater. I tried telling y'all this in 2017, 2018. And I know I trolled and I told jokes and shit like that. But at the end of it, when I was trying to have serious discussions, y'all didn't want to listen. I think that's a coping mechanism. Gamers like Cray, you're an old Cray. Cray's been around. If y'all don't know, Cray's been around for a very long time. Shout out to Craig. Big up to Craig. He was more of a follower of the channel when we were, enthusiastic about Xbox. I know Cray is an old school genre defining gamer like me, but he didn't want to see the writing on the wall. And I'm not trying to pick on Cray. I'm just saying we gotta let go of these coping mechanisms, bro. PlayStation is still heading down that path and Microsoft is doing something different. It just is what it is. I wasn't hating. I love my Xbox. I freaking hated PlayStation. I wasn't. People were like, "Oh, you're doing this to try to placate to the PlayStation." The PlayStation people don't want nobody that plays cloud gaming. That's like garlic to a vampire. They don't want nobody to. No, that doesn't make sense. I just go where the games and the experiences are. I tried to tell y'all. We gotta let go of these coping mechanisms. It just is what it is, bro. You just gotta move on and figure out what's now going to be the best way to suit your gaming needs. Because if you're trying, PlayStation's gonna do it. No, they're not. They don't have to. They're gonna go day in, day two. No, they're not. They don't have to. The power behind their exclusives are that powerful, they actually lose money. They lost $85 million by putting Horizon Forbidden West on PlayStation Plus a year after it launched. Why? Because Horizon Forbidden West is powerful enough on its own to be sold at $70 that it made more money for PlayStation than it did in helping PlayStation Plus. They lost 85. Sony does not have to do what what Xbox has to do. Xbox did that day and date because it was something that shook up the sector. And hopefully they were hoping that it would shake up the sector enough to get people to say, damn, that's a value or a bargain I can't pass up. And unfortunately, not enough people said that. Still going to be around as an option. I don't know what the next iteration of Game Pass is going to look like. People have been speculating about it. But it's still going to be around. But Microsoft is now leaning on its third-party capabilities. They're still going to have ecosystem stuff around. But y'all got to drop these coping mechanisms and just get over it, man. I get it. It was hard for me, bro. It was hard for me back then. It was painful. It's a lot easier for y'all because y'all get to cry and hold each other together. I ain't had no support. I was told, get out. They kicked me out of the Keebler Xbox treehouse. Y'all can sit there and hug each other and console each other. Oh, man, those were the days. Y'all can do that. I had no support mechanism.
Dud and Shan right now. They're gonna hug each other a lot. Dirt said he's out of a job.
Oh man, is that what he said?
Yeah.
Oh man, shout out to them. Hey Sean, now you're gonna have time to do that martial arts podcast with me finally, damn it. you got open it. We can finally do that martial arts podcast. You can stop fucking around. Shout out to Sean. Oh man. Shout out to them, man. It's just, hey, look. I understood the product they was trying to serve. I actually, behind the scenes was like, yo, y'all should do this. I like a balance, man. I like a balance. And if I like something, like, let me give y'all an example. I know most of y'all aren't cloud gamers or whatever, even though GeForce Now is phenomenal. Y'all should play it. I'm gonna show y'all tomorrow. I'm gonna show y'all mofos tomorrow. Be checking out your boy on Twitter as I drop that beautiful beam footage of when I play Banishers, but we'll talk about that later. I know most of y'all aren't cloud gamers, but hear me out. Y'all know as much as I was promoting Stadia. In my Stadia promotion, did I sit there and go back and forth and sling some mud and say, yeah, that's why Xbox ain't doing it? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I did do that because people were coming at me talking about, oh, Stadia can't do it. And y'all ain't know what y'all was talking about. Y'all were just doing what Phil told you to do. When Jazz was writing an article, that ridiculous article, Destiny is on xCloud and it kills the reason for Stadia to exist. And I had to run them side by side and tell them, nah. And I had mad Xbox mugs calling me like, Moss, why you do that? Like, why you do that to the homie Jazz? Like, you kicked him in the stomach, bro. Don't do that. But it had to be done because it ain't about waving a flag. I just don't like people lying to consumers. But y'all know how much I was advocating for ballot on Twitter, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's way bigger content creators than me and the tens of thousands of followers and YouTubes on their YouTube channel. But all y'all know was me because I was out in the trenches. As much as I was out in the trenches for Google Stadia, when them motherfuckers closed down SG&E, and I mean motherfuckers kindly, when them motherfuckers closed SG&E, and they did not have clear messaging behind it, like, hey, we're going to the new tool set. We understood. We understood that maybe our shit was a little bit overzealous. We have to restructure our focus. When they wouldn't do that, because I had inside information, and I released that inside information several months before it became public, just like I released the inside information that Jack Buser was going to announce Google Games for Cloud early last year, months before Axios, Verge, anybody talked about it. I talked about it on Cloud Dosage. I have my sources. I knew what they were trying to do, but they didn't articulate it well. And I didn't understand why they articulated that way. I hammered those motherfuckers, and I mean motherfuckers nicely. I hammered them for 2 weeks. It got to the point to where people were calling me, yo, MM, you can stop now. We get it. Enough. I said, no, get the messaging together. Click. Swear to God, people was hitting me up. It's enough. Stop. You're doing enough. Stop it, M. I said, no, get the messaging right. And why did I keep doing it?
If you were just so passionate about it like you were with X.
Who said with X? I know somebody said, yeah, somebody told me that. I think shout out to Randolph Thor. I think Rand told me one day, hey, bro, if you was passionate about Xbox like you was Stadia, oh man, but here's the problem. Microsoft is the richest company in the world. Xbox has established relationships. Xbox already drew up the blueprint for success with the 360 generation. They already knew what to do. I understood Google had no established relationships. This was new to them. They had some veterans in there, but they didn't make the final decisions. The Google brass did. So this was a learning curve for them. I understood that with them. So that's why I was a little bit more accepting of some things. There was nothing to accept with Xbox because they already been to the mountaintop. What the fuck is going on? That's why my approaches were different. Just like I was with Luna or anybody else. I was a little bit more forgiving. It's like when you have your someone that's in the 9th grade, you got 2 children, one in the 9th grade, maybe he takes his pre-SATs, he doesn't score that well. But you know, you got time. With a little bit of training or whatever, you can get them up to par. Opposed to your senior that's about to go to college, if he scores the same as the 9th grade, oh, you in trouble. But I was like, no, I'm not stopping. Why? Because I had gamers that were hitting me up too, like, I need you to keep going because I want them to do better. I love this platform and I love the promise they need to do better. Keep going. Keep going. See, this is the difference between me and y'all. I'm not here for no brand. No brand can buy me. I don't wave a flag for no brand. I will sing your accolades if you put out a good product. The moment you fuck up and you fuck up consistently and you're trying to use the consumer, I'm out. And I will dog walk you as long as I have to. I'm not here for a brand. I'm here for the consumer. That's where me and you are different. So I don't wave a flag for anybody just because this is the group I want to belong to. I appreciate what you're doing for the consumer, the potential that you have, the road that you're trying to set forth. That's what I do it because it helps the consumer. A brand could never buy me, never. So I'm just saying for y'all that's out there that are upset about this, look, man, it is what it is. Y'all held it down for them for all these years. Yo, give y'all a round of applause. Give y'all a round of applause. Y'all held it down for them for all these years. But essentially, by you having willful ignorance, all you did was subsidize their efforts to pivot right past you. Like, you remember that Dave Chappelle skit where he's in a club and he puts his hand out and he pushes the motherfucker to the side? That's all you did. You subsidized Microsoft and Xbox to do that. They just had to wait for Women's Their Moment. And Women's Their Moment, ABK. And y'all helped push that shit along, man. Y'all would harass the CMA, sent love letters to Lulu, did all that shit, bro. Oh, this is gonna be better for the employees, man. Yeah, because of the what do they call that? Because of the the unions, yeah, the unions and all that shit, man. This is gonna be, oh man, this is gonna make gaming better. And they fired 1,900 mofos before the fucking deal before the deal could even go down the temperature. You got used. You got pimped out. They didn't even leave $5 on the dresser. It is what it is.
Let's be honest. They didn't give a fuck about these employees.
Yeah. And Cold Blood. Remember when we was live that one time and we read Steve Totillo's report? See, this is why y'all need to tune in here. We was telling y'all, Steve Totillo got a report where essentially they called them Company B or something like that, but essentially Microsoft knew from the gate that as soon as they absorbed ABK, they were going to decimate roles. They already had it planned out. Oh no, this is going to be great. Because of the way that gaming is going now and how the climate is trying to quote unquote correct itself, most of those 1,900 people will never find a job in gaming again. Opposed to where if Activision Blizzard were still independent. Oh, I think, they was still shave some people because I think they shaved like 200 a couple of years before. Maybe they shave another 2. They're not shaving 1,900 people. So you got all that development talent and all those people that may never find, because the industry and the sector is correcting, quote unquote, they call it correcting itself, because a lot of them got, somewhat bloated because of the pandemic. So you have that bloating, and you have the fact that there's just natural redundancies when a company merges. There's 1,900, those 1,900 people, the bulk of them will never see work in the gaming business ever again. The thing that they fucking went to school for, the thing that they got fucking school loans for. Y'all don't think about that shit, man, because y'all fucking business acumen is low as hell. That's why I don't feel sorry for y'all. You want me to cry for you? Oh man, fuck Phil, what are you doing, Phil? No! The writing was on the wall. I feel bad for them. I feel bad for the developers who went to school for a certain reason, probably fucking relocated their family, have school loans out of the wazoo, that will never find a job again in the thing that they're in debt for. You cheered that on, and you want me to cry for you because you can't win a war on Twitter anymore? Fuck out of here. No way, no how. Oh man, I can't. I can't use my salty pony thumbnails anymore. I don't give a fuck about that anymore. I don't care. I never did. Do I think it's funny at times? Yeah, sure. I'm here for the consumers, and I'm here for the devs. And again, of that 1,900 pool that got decimated because of redundancies and so forth, because there's a correction in the sector, they'll never get, a bulk of them will never get jobs again in gaming. This is real life shit, y'all. Stop being so fucking remedial and analyzing what's going on, looking at the data, seeing what the long-term effects are. Stop being so fucking remedial because you want to wave a flag. Be smarter than that. It's like Thrash said, y'all know the CEO and what his favorite cookie is and shit and how many chocolate chips are in them before he eats them. Y'all know all that shit. But when it comes to these likely outcomes because of the decisions made, y'all lose your minds. Your brains get fried. I don't get it. So my takeaway from all this news that we got today is that PlayStation 5 destroyed the gaming landscape in 2023. They still did. They made a ridiculous benchmark in 25 million that things are being unfairly typecast because of it. But I'm not shedding any tears for PlayStation. I'm just concerned with the unsuspecting gamer having misinformation cascaded to them. Trust me, I'm not doing this on behalf of Sony. They deserve the ridicule. Because why did you think you were going to sell 25 million consoles? Why did you think you were going to?
Because it sounded nice.
Yeah. True. Crazy. The yen evaluation effect, the people that are talking to profits, stop it. It's already said in the court case that Sony's profit margins are bigger than theirs. Hence why Microsoft is likely going to say some things tomorrow that's going to give a lot of y'all heartburn. They said it in court under oath. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm so looking forward to tomorrow, bro.
Like I said, I don't think it's going to be like a gauntlet that drops as crazy and chop off as many heads as we may think. I think it's just like the starting point.
We will have so much content for the next 2 years, bro.
Oh yeah.
Just from this shit alone.
I know people are going to be asking. People have been asking, well, what are pro PlayStation entities going to do? Oh man, the meltdowns. Like, and it's not going to happen all at once. So it's not going to like expire. It's going to happen in waves and phases. There's going to be content for a long time. For a long time, there's going to be content. Yeah, Yeah, but there was no reason for them to evaluate 25 million. Way too high. They didn't have the ability to discount like they did last gen because of the prices and shit like that. I think the biggest takeaway from this is how is Sony slotting their first party games. I in particular don't think that you got to have 80 first party games or only your first party games matter. But when we start seeing years where you have none, I don't know, like how are you prepping? How are you scheduling? How are you slotting your content? What's going on here? So those are the takeaways. Shit.
Moss.
Uh-huh.
Didn't I warn these ponies to be very cautious?
Yeah.
Of making fun of Xbox right now.
Yeah. You did. You did. You did. Let me see. Shout out to Craig. Hey, Craig, thanks for subscribing, bro. I appreciate it, brother. I get where you was coming from, man. I know I've did my jokes and stuff in the past and stuff like that. But again, I'm trying to look out for, I'm trying to look out for y'all. Now, there are gamers that hear this and be like, I don't care. I don't give a fuck where Microsoft put their games. I don't give a fuck about a box. And that's fine. It's totally fine. Like I've been saying, this conversation isn't for you. You're more than welcome to stay and be entertained. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not, there's nothing wrong with you liking the direction or my conversation is for those that were gamers that were like me. And there were a lot of us. As a matter of fact, we were the core of Xbox. Gamers like me. I just happened to be someone that noticed the pattern sooner. But as I was trying to tell y'all, the tornado's coming. Y'all just said, hey, look, Moss, look, man, we got the barbecue rolling in the back. GEIX Super Bowl's on, man. Kids is playing hopscotch over here. Man, get the fuck out of here with all that tornadoes coming, man. Anybody trying to hear that shit? And I just had to, shake my head and say, damn, they gonna get sucked up in the sky high to them motherfuckers. they drop gonna be hard as hell because that tornado's coming. I was telling y'all, check out my old content. I've been predicting this since 2018. Again, first video as a big time Xbox fanboy. My very first video, y'all, look it up. I remember it word for word. Phil Spencer got a promotion and I'm not celebrating. I've been trying to tell y'all this since 2017, man. 2018. Definitely 2019. What y'all do? Y'all kicked me out the treehouse. I said, okay.
Hinkerbottom, did you confuse this channel with MBG?
Who's saying something? Oh, Hinkerbottom said,
where is MBG?
He said, where is MBG? Hey, yo, MBG ain't gonna be here, bro. He ain't here, bro. Sorry. I'm so sorry. We like PlayStation's our favorite console, but MBG ain't here, man. We doing some data analysis. We're breaking down. Nothing against MBG. I ain't got nothing against MBG. I'm just saying we do something totally different over here, bro. Totally different. Shout out to MBG. You keep doing your thing. I'm not whining or crying for anybody. I'm just trying to warn consumers of what's coming down because I've been gaming for 35 plus years. Yes, I'm an old ass man gamer. And then I've been in Fortune 500 business for 25 plus years. So I've been fortunate enough to be playing games for almost 4 fucking decades. I've been in business for 2.5 decades, over 2.5 decades. And so now, not only do I understand the trajectory of gaming and what makes gaming tick from a consumer level, but I also understand the business decisions being made behind the scenes from an executive, level. But y'all don't want that. Y'all want soul content. Y'all want motherfuckers that cry, oh, why don't you like my box? Y'all want all that other shit, all that other remedial shit that don't educate you. You don't want to be informed. Y'all want to belong. Go ahead and belong. Go ahead and belong. It's something that we practice here called delayed gratification. While y'all sitting there belonging with them and getting misinformed, we're over here not shocked. You don't, I mean, I'm screaming and whatever. That's just part of the performative aspect of it. I'm not shocked at all. I wrote this book in 2018. I told you about what's happening today back then. Cold Blood told you just over the short time that he's been live here about shit that's been happening. We're not surprised. We're just looking at y'all and getting a couple of chuckles out of y'all reactions because y'all didn't want to look at the writings on the wall. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to be more clear than, again, shit. Phil Spencer's got a promotion. I'm not celebrating. Why would I say that as an extreme Xbox fan? Check it out. Oh, no, you just hating, man. You just hating. You're a hater. Okay. Okay. I don't know how Cold Blood gets any more clear. Sony's not getting 25 million. From what? What else are we going to do? But keep sitting here talking our shit, informing people, having common sense conversations backed up by data. And y'all got a choice. Y'all can either, as we say in the streets, y'all can take it or squeeze it. Y'all can either absorb it, understand it, even if y'all don't totally agree with it, but at least understand where we're coming from with these conclusions instead of just instantly rejecting it because it's not propelling your favorite box, or you can learn from it. Hopefully y'all start learning from it now. Hopefully you'll know this is not a game. Again, 35 years I've been gaming, 25 plus years in Fortune 500 business. I'm not just pulling this shit out of my ass. He says, Geek to he says, there it goes, Mr. Fortune 500. He said, Doc Dart go off on these, bro. Hinklebottom, you're new here. Apparently, you're new to this shit. I want you to do yourself a favor, bro. There's a show on this channel called The Commission. I want you to look up The Commission. I want you to listen to The Commission. I want you to see who's on The Commission. And when you see that Doc Dark is on The Commission, I then want you to go over to Cloud Dosage. I want you to see who was the person that introduced Doc Dark to Stadia over on Cloud Dosage, who did content with Doc over there on Cloud Dosage. Bro, again, right now you're the epitome of too wet behind the ears, too green on the scene to know what I mean. But I love you anyway, like a child I never paid child support for. All right, let's keep rolling, man. Hey, we try Cold Blood, but these, they, you know, Doc is gonna kick your ass, man. Wait till I get Uncle Doc. Get your dumb ass out of here. Anyway, Cold Blood, I only got an hour and a half, so let's get the flippity flop out of here. Let me set up the, cause it's Valentine's Day. Jesus Christ, now all of a sudden, my wife this morning was like, I want to do something for Valentine's Day. I'm like, oh, here you go with your shit. When you were telling me before you didn't want to do nothing. And shout out for the 5 additional followers we got. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We're on a road to 1,000, and once we get to a road to 1,000, we just got more down the pipe. Thank you so much. Let me go here to MM2K Gaming new streams. Let me set up the stream, man. I still got foam stars. Now we ain't doing no foam stars, not yet, man.
Oh, we absolutely do. No, so you're not getting away from playing foam.
Oh no, I like foam. I got a stream waiting. I like foams. I like foam. I mean, I can tolerate foam stores. Let me be honest.
The people need this. The people need this.
I can tolerate foam stores. Let me be honest. Let me not cap. I can tolerate it. So I don't mind it. I can do another stream. Ain't no problem, bro. But
another stream? Nah, hell no.
Hell divers.
You get to level 25, bro.
Oh shit. Woo, yeah, man. I need some more. Give me some more. Here, let me do this too. And then we're gonna go over. I'm gonna give y'all the link. We're gonna go over there. Matter of fact, let me turn on this PlayStation right now. I hear that? That's my PlayStation, baby. That's my baby. What's homie's name in the chat? Hinklebottom. I prefer PlayStation as a console. I had my criticisms of Xbox, but because I'm a specific type of gamer, I felt like that I had a lot of common with its core gamer base. So I have been highly critical of Xbox, but you know what I'm saying? You like what you like. I'm not mad at anybody for what they like. It's just I'm speaking to the gamers like myself who who are surprised all of a sudden. And I'm being honest with them. I'm being frank with them. They shouldn't have been surprised. But if you want to call Uncle Doc on me, hey, Uncle Doc, hey, yo, Doc, if you do call Uncle Doc, let Uncle Doc know that we are doing the reunion. We're trying to do a legacy PNTS reunion. And his slot is still open too, as a former commissioned podcast member. Hey, Uncle Doc, nephew Hinklebottom is calling you on me. Come on over, Doc. Now me and Doc ain't rapped in a minute, man. Since I was doing my Starfield streams, me and Doc ain't rapped. It'll be good to see Doc again if he can make the reunion. It's rap to Snow Bunny. Snow Bunny is setting it all up, Doc. If you can, Hinklebottom, if you can let Uncle Doc know that from me, I appreciate it, brother. Uncle Doc! Let me get this stream together. Let me stop fucking with this dude. You all right? Hey, Hinklebottom, you all right in my book, man. Hey, Hinklebottom, let me know in the chat. You want an Xbox code, bro? I like you, man. I like you. Uncle Doc! Let me know, Hinklebottom, if you want an Xbox code. I'll just give you an Xbox code, bro. You got to join our Discord, though, in order to get it. But if you want an Xbox code, bro, I'll let you know. I mean, I'll give it to you. Just join our Discord. I'll hook you up, bro. Let me see here. Let me do this. Show more. Gameplays. I got to make this episode 4. Uncle Doc! Bro was gonna call us uncles on me, man. We got episode 4. We updated the thumbnail. Let's go here. Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. There we go. All right. Open file, location. All that. Yeah, episode 4. And bada boom, bada bing. We got that there. Edit. Hold on. I never ended the stream from last night. Yo, that's crazy, son. That makes it even easier though. All right. I gotta change. That's crazy. I never ended the stream from last night. Dang. All right, y'all. Hope y'all appreciate. Let me do this. I'm gonna give y'all the link. We can talk some more shit. Y'all can see some hell divers. Because really, as soon as I get out of here, I'm just going to hit launch because it's already in the hell diver stream. Join us for hell divers stream. Oh, come on, man. What the fuck? Helldiver stream. All right. Share that. There we go. Join us for the Helldiver stream. We're heading over there now. We're going to be live in a couple of minutes. Join us there. Thank y'all all for coming. Also, join us over on GEIX. Here, let me give you, if you want to learn more about GEIX and to join the Discord, it's PNTS network.com/geeks. That's GEIX. Join us over there and learn how. That's how you can join our Discord. So when we do our game nights and all of the stuff, you guys can opine. Thank y'all very much for checking out the show. I gotta talk to Cold Blood, see what we're gonna do about tomorrow, but definitely join us here on Friday. Friday is when we do our weekly podcast. It's NRO podcast. We cover everything in the week. It's going to be a hell of an episode because it's going to be post the Xbox shit, the Xbox business podcast. So join us then. Appreciate all of y'all. Thank y'all so much. If you want to support the platform, support what we're doing so we can play more games and do more shit, definitely hit any of those support links to PayPal, H&D site / tip or whatever. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It is because of your support that we were able to get Helldivers for me and Cold Blood, and we're enjoying the hell out of it. So thank you so much, community. We love y'all. Until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.